All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is May 16th, 2025, and we got an interesting day ahead. We got a little bit of data, but this whole entire week, it has been about trade in China and then UAE deal and Middle East and AI. Oh, hello. All of this stuff. So now we're kind of chilling out, but you still hit a new high yesterday. The record of day after day, I think we're on like 5 or 6 days in a row, still kind of holding up, and now we decide, or we start to look whether or not we get a big action, or are we going to play headline Trump roulette coming into next week. And I think we are, so get ready. Today we will be dealing with a lot of trade rumors about what we're going to deal with. So it'll be one part about the data in the morning, and then we're going to get through the momentum and the moving, and then pretty much by the second half of the day, I think we are going to start hearing about what we are getting ready for next week with a trade deal. So should be a wild one, Chad. Let's have some fun, baby. Welcome to Friday, and good morning. What up, baby? What up, Lori? How you doing, Mark? Tim Whitman, Dos Nacho, Alex, Enzo, Zuraj, Tyree, Mr. Edwards, Carson Ball, Cardia, Giselle. Okay, the chat's going crazy. Good morning, CJ, Joey Cacamo, winning Loza Rayon, baby. What up, Mr. Warley? Oh, my goodness. Happy Friday. Oh, Julio. There's the ghost. What up, baby? Guts and Emotions, Dave, Mr. Nunez, Brown Tom Crows, Monica Ashley, JJ Canthology, Sun Grown. What up, Professor Lau? Good morning, KD. What up, BDV? Hel Trapato, Kurt McGirt, Cassius, Techno. Oh, my goodness. Good morning. Good mornings to the Jameses. Good mornings to the Jamals. Lucky Soldier, Johnny B. God. Oh, good morning. What up, Edgar? Are you guys ready? Are you ready? What about the Twitch? Senor, 12 Jimin, Stock Sasquatch, Louise, One Wolfpack, Preforms, Epic Eric, Swoop, Blizzy B, Lizzie, Payday Devil, Iron Beagle, El Coyote, and Pie Guy and Robo Handtech. Good morning. Oh, it's Friday. You guys know that? It's literally it's Friday, baby. So here is Josh AI with the news, and let's get ready. Good morning. U.S. futures rise as S&P 500 eyes strong weekly gain. U.S. futures gained with the S&P 500 on track for one of its best weeks this year as easing trade tensions between the U.S. and China buoyed appetite for risky assets, and traders bet the Federal Reserve will step in to avoid a recession. Contracts on the S&P 500 climbed 0.3%, after the index closed up 4.5% for the week on Thursday as the latest economic data spurred speculation the Fed will cut interest rates twice this year. Europe's benchmark stock 600 gauge also gained, heading for a fifth weekly advance. U.S. equities are back in favor following the de-escalation of trade tensions between the U.S. and China. They're now trading like last month's rout never happened, even though uncertainty remains about the effect of tariffs on the U.S. economy and the direction that the global trade war will take in the coming months. For now, we believe that the path of least resistance is still higher for risky assets, said Mohit Kumar, chief economist and strategist at Jefferies International. We would start turning a bit more cautious around June, July, when we expect the hard data start weakening. Positioning is also reflecting the risk-on mood, with U.S. equity funds having their first inflows in 5 weeks at $19.8 billion, according to Bank of America Corp strategists led by Michael Hartnett. Meanwhile, Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta President Raphael Bostic said he expects the U.S. economy to slow this year but not fall into recession. The dollar weakened for a second session against major peers, with the yen and Swiss franc among the beneficiaries. Traders remain bearish on the greenback, with strategists at JP Morgan Chase & Company and Deutsche Bank AG saying the currency will extend its decline. Sentiment in the options market is the most negative in 5 years. Despite the perceived drop in macro uncertainty, it should be noted that the status quo ante has not fully been reinstated, said Karsten Junius, chief economist at Bank J. Safra Saracen. There is no assurance that that tariffs will not rise again, nor much evidence that the administration has scaled back its broader goals. Looking ahead, we remain skeptical that the greenback can recover recent losses. The 10-year Treasury yield was lower after declining 10 basis points Thursday as traders added bets on Fed rate cuts. Investors are also watching negotiations around the U.S. budget with its promise of large tax cuts and the potential impact that will have on the fiscal deficit. Elsewhere, Japan's economy shrank for the first time in a year, illustrating its vulnerability even before sustaining the impact of Trump's tariff measures. The yen gained 0.2% on Friday to trade around 145 per dollar. Bank of Japan official Toyowaki Nakamura, the most dovish board member, warned against hurrying to raise the benchmark interest rate. In commodities, gold fell to extend its weekly loss as demand for haven assets waned. Oil prices declined after Iran's foreign minister cast doubts on the status of U.S.-Iran nuclear talks. Corporate highlights: Applied Materials Inc. shares fall as much as 5.8% in U.S. pre-market trading after the semiconductor equipment maker gave a disappointing forecast for the third quarter. Globant SA shares sink 26% in U.S. pre-market trading after the technology services provider cut full-year revenue guidance for 2025 to a level that undershot analysts' expectations. Doximity Inc. shares drop as much as 22% in U.S. pre-market trading after the healthcare software company's full-year forecast disappointed. Pentair PLC shares rise as much as 2.2% in U.S. pre-market trading after J.P. Morgan upgraded the water treatment company to overweight from neutral on expectations of potential guidance upside. Richemont SA jumps 5.5% after the Cartier owner posted a sales rise. In Asia, Alibaba Group Holding Limited shares fell as much as 6.7% after quarterly revenue disappointed. Industrial strength rally as stocks have ripped higher from the depths of the tariff sell-off in early April. Industrial companies have climbed to the top of the S&P 500's leaderboard. An index of manufacturing and transportation stocks is now the best performer this year among the benchmark's 11 broad sectors, following the U.S. and China's trade truce at the start of the week. It was lingering in third place as recently as a week ago. Those stocks are up 7.8% for the year, while the S&P 500 is roughly flat. The shift to industrials, with GE and Deere among companies leading the charge, is a bet that waning trade friction will help the U.S. economy rebound after a feeble first quarter. The whole America First Buy U.S. is a really pro-industrial narrative, said Jeff Buckbinder, chief equity strategist at LPL Financial. A healthy bull market is led by the cyclical sectors that benefit most from economic growth. Wow. It's not just America First, though, because a similar dynamic is playing out across the Atlantic, where the Stoxx Europe 600 index has ripped higher for 5 straight weeks. Since the market low in April, industrials there have gained 22%, outpacing the 17% return in the broader benchmark. NJ Transit engineers strike, halting trains and stranding riders. New Jersey Transit locomotive engineers started striking early Friday, triggering a shutdown of the agency's rail service and disrupting travel for thousands of commuters. The walkout marks the first railroad strike in more than 40 years for the transit agency. The move will force riders to find other modes of travel into New York City or to work remotely, upending travel for the biggest U.S. metropolitan area. After years of negotiations, New Jersey Transit, which operates more than 925,000 weekday trips across its rail, bus, and light rail platforms, and the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen, failed to agree on a new contract after 15 hours of non-stop contract talks today. No agreement on a wage increase was reached, the union said in a statement late Thursday. The union's national president, Mark Wallace, added that the National Mediation Board has called for a meeting on Sunday. Top overnight news: trade tariffs. Trump says he will set tariff rates for U.S. trading partners in coming 2 to 3 weeks. Bloomberg: APEC reaches fragile consensus amid deep divisions over U.S. tariffs. Reuters: U.S. tariffs on China not expected to drop below 30% until late 2025, reflecting low expectations for quick trade deal. Bloomberg. Progress in U.S.-Japan trade talks remain uncertain ahead of next round. Nikkei. FT. Trump's drug price order threatens ripple effects for Europe's medicine costs. Bloomberg. Japan Finance Minister Kato reiterates aim for FX talks with Besant. Reuters. Bloomberg. Tariff reprieve eases concerns about mass layoffs in China, but uncertainty seen discouraging manufacturers from hiring. Reuters. Corporate Applied Materials guides revenue below expectations, reflecting impact of tariffs and U.S. chip curbs on China. Bloomberg. Fortnite on iOS will be offline worldwide until Apple unblocks it. Reuters. Berkshire opted against major purchases during recent market slide, exited positions in financial stocks. Bloomberg. Charter Communications in advanced talks to merge with privately held Cox. Bloomberg. Take-Two forecasts lower 2026 bookings as GTA 6 delay hits revenue outlook. Reuters. Bayer preparing to settle some lawsuits over Roundup weed killer, may seek Monsanto bankruptcy. Reuters. Rickmont, sales up 7% as jewelry shines. Reuters, Swiss Re profits up despite losses from California wildfires. Bloomberg, enthusiasm for China's tech stocks tempered by this week's earnings that indicated demand weakness, competitive pressures. Bloomberg, central banks, Fed's Bostic sees slower U.S. growth. One Fed rate cut in 2025 amid persistent uncertainty. Bloomberg, ECB's Kazakh signals rate cuts nearing end as inflation returns to target, warns on growth risks. Bloomberg. ECB's Vilroy says trade tensions driving market volatility, not currency war. Bloomberg. ECB plans capital neutral reforms to simplify banking regulation, disappointing some. Bloomberg. Bojay's Nakamura urges caution on rate hikes amid U.S. tariff threats. Reuters. RBA set to cut rates as cooling inflation and trade tensions weigh on growth. Reuters. Markets dialing back Asia rate cut expectations following U.S.-China trade de-escalation. Bloomberg. Markets. JGB 30 Huawei yield nearing record high as BOJ scales back purchases, shining spotlight on government debt load. Bloomberg. Economy. U.S. inflation eases, but real yields pose new challenge. Reuters. French unemployment rises to 7.4% in Q1 as expected. Bloomberg. Japan economy contracted before tariffs, reflecting drag from net exports, flat consumption. Bloomberg. Reuters. Singapore exports surge, likely reflecting pull forward of orders amid tariff reprieve. Reuters. Washington GOP tax bill hits roadblock as hardliners demand deeper Medicaid cuts. Reuters. Geopolitics. Trump officials concern plans to put China chip-making firms on export blacklist will hurt efforts on trade talks. FT. NATO set to adopt 5% defense spending target amid Trump pressure. Axio. Putin and Zelensky skip Istanbul peace talks as Trump insists no breakthrough without his involvement. Reuters. Politico. FT. European leaders gather in Tirana to plan tougher sanctions on Russia after Putin skips Ukraine peace talks. Politico. Germany's surprise pledge to raise defense spending to 5% of GDP sparks coalition rift in NATO debate. Politico. There's more. All right. S&P futures are up by 0.3 in early Friday trading, follows mostly higher Thursday session that saw strength from more defensive pockets, but a notable drag from big tech. Major indices on track to post a solid weekly gain. Treasuries weaker with the curve flattening. Yields are down by 3 to 5 basis points, but still higher for the week. Dollar index is down by 0.1. Gold is up by 1.5 near the worst levels. Bitcoin is up by 0.5. WTI is up by 0.4 after yesterday's 2.5% drop on U.S.-Iran talks. Market is still living in the echo of last week's notable step down in China-U.S. tensions, though not much incremental on that front today. Trump this morning said tariff rates for trading partners coming in the next few weeks and reiterated dozens of countries asking for negotiations, but though it said it's not feasible to carry on all of these talks. Some continue to focus on Asian Brent trade negotiations and USTR Greer at the APEC conference, and news that U.S. and Japan are arranging another round of talks. Trump wrapping up his Middle East tour today, with the market having taken some positive signals from his trade updates this week, including upbeat AI headlines. Still a lot of noise around Republicans' push for Trump's big, beautiful bill, with some opposition emerging around a key committee vote scheduled for today, though it may ultimately prove more of a scheduling delay than a firm roadblock. Big economic release today is the preliminary May University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations, though results may be stale given surveys collected before recent step down in U.S.-China tensions. April housing stats and building permits both came in light in consensus, though both saw March results revised higher. April import prices rose by 0.1 month over month, and prior than the 0.4 drop, export prices rose 0.1 month over month, same pace as March. Very little scheduled for Fed speak, with Richmond Barkin and SF Daily both giving college commencement addresses after the market close. Limited developments overseas as well, with Russia-Ukraine talks still taking place in Turkey, but little expected, giving no leaders participating, though U.S. Secretary of State Rubio participating. Japan preliminary GDP showed economy contracted by more than expected. Latest economist polls show BofJ rate hike forecast pushed back to Q4, reflecting ongoing tariff-related uncertainties. Limited corporate news. Apple has blocked Epic Games Fortnite on its U.S. and EU app stores. NVO CEO Jorgensen to step down. Trump announced $14.5 billion order for 28 Boeing planes from Abu Dhabi. Charter confirmed it will acquire privately held Cox Communications in a $34.5 billion deal. AMAT revenue and next quarter guidance were a bit light, though analysts more upbeat on demand trend. Take-Two full-year net bookings guidance was well below the street. Kava comps were a bit better, and full-year EBITDA guidance was raised, though some note of elevated expectations. Docs, a big decliner on weaker than expected revenue guide. And that is it. Oh. Well, look at that. So, pre-market movers. Charter's up 6.5. Again, they're acquiring Cox. VST is up by 5.3 to acquire 7 natural gas generation facilities. Arquite is up 4.6. Value Act initiates 6 million position. STZ is up by 3.8. Berkshire increases stake to 114%. Estee Lauder is up by 3.4. Michael Burry discloses 200,000 share position. UNH is up 3.1. Pairing declines yesterday on report of DOJ investigation. CoreWeave up 2.9. NVIDIA discloses increased stake of 7% versus 5.96. A-Lab is up by 1.7. Susquehanna initiates neutral. CCL 1.5. HSBC upgrade. FI up 1.4 after dropping down 16 yesterday. VMC is up by 1.3. UBS upgrade. Qubits up 10 off earnings. All of these, a lot of Qubit, and then QBTS. And then SHO up 1.9, Evercore upgrade. INZY is up 177, BioMarin to acquire for $4 a share. Top W up 34, strategic expansion in a digital asset sector. T's up 17% earnings. EVLV up 15 preliminary earnings. TNXP up 11 insider purchase. EBS up 8.9 insider purchase. SEPIN up 5.9 earnings. AISP up 5.1 off earnings. CVAC up 3.1 additional positive validity from decision of European Patent Office. Trading lower. Docs is down 16 off earnings. NVO down 5. CEO Jorgensen to step down. Search for successor is ongoing. AMET down 5.1 off earnings. Take-Two down 1.4 off earnings. TVTX down 17, FDA acceptance of SNDA for Phil Sparry. Globe down 29 off earnings. Flow down 2.8 off earnings. SEDG down 1.6. Northland Capital downgrade. ORGN down 31 off earnings. WYY down 16 off earnings. Kuehler down 8.8 off earnings. And gold and silver related stocks trading lower. Yeah, the NVO thing's kind of weird, bro. So he just stepped down because the stock's doing bad. But like you guys saw with Intel, it's not good. You don't usually, when a motherfucker step down, you want to have a plan. Just for future reference, that's why if you guys want to know how to evaluate these, you know what I'm saying? All you got to do is just kind of look at the succession plan. So if the CEO steps down with nothing, with no other info, and they don't have a good replacement, usually that's a sign of a lot of uncertainty. So, again, NVO, this is the longest or the biggest bear market, I think, of any company, believe it or not. Again, that type of move that they have made is actually huge. So I think it's pretty important. and then we'll see. Yesterday's philo, I can't make it public, okay? This is where I got reported. That's what happened the last 2 days. So hopefully you guys, can you not be annoying if I don't answer it, because I don't want to have to explain this stuff. So you've commented on everything and said that, but yeah, that's what happened the last 2 days. I have people, and I know them, so I know when I get reported, and I know if I'll get banned now. So yeah, that's why we had to take that one down. But so yeah, you could blame the people, and you should talk to people at YouTube and talk to the trading community and the Bloombergs and all these little discords, bro. They're mad. So yeah, but other than that, we'll see. But unfortunately, if it's not there, it's not there. I found the way around it. So that's the good news. Woo! But other than that, Chatadonia, are you ready? Are you feeling good? Please up. He's not even listening. I'm banning you, brother. Goodbye. Good morning, though. Other than that, Chatadonia. That's what I say. You don't even care. But, you know what I do care about? I care about this every day, baby. Every single day. I care about this country. And more importantly, it's the people. And we have amazing people in this nation, man. And one special group of people that I really want to shout out is the veterans of the United States of America. Every day we have this freedom. Every day we get to pursue so many different things, bro. And it's here because the people ahead of us and people came before us, and they gave up everything. And when they come home, we forget about them. It's terrible. Terrible, bro. It's actually insane. So think what you want, and you could be all that tough guy shit, but at the end of the day, bro, we are here because of amazing people's sacrifice, and every single day we are taking advantage of it. So veterans, the least we could do is honor you, really. And all of you, man, if you have never serve, bro, I really hope you bring this to culture, and I hope you guys see it, man. We're gonna be annoying, and we have an impact, and you've already seen it. We need more homes for the homeless veterans and all of it, bro. But when we take this in our heart and as a community, a culture, and society, bro, it's very encouraging. I hope you realize that, and it's a good thing if we could honor those who made something good. Don't you hate watching people do bad and get rewarded for doing bad? Well, there you go. So why wouldn't we reward our veterans day in and day out? All of you who haven't served, do you not see that message? You mean you're going to die for this country and we going to act like you ain't do nothing? That's insanity. So veterans, thank you. Families of the veterans, thank you. Thank you for everything you have given. And if you have not served, you have your voice and everything else that you could do to support those who have given everything for your freedom. So God bless the veterans. Big shout out to anybody else out there giving back to their local communities. Doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men, anybody making their community run. Good job, and God bless you, and keep going, baby. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Oh, it's game time, baby. Oh, nah, let's go. Oh, Chatadonia. What time? Oh, we got good time. Oh, we got good time, baby. So let's get it. I got a couple of plays. We'll see what today holds. You got a little bit of moves. Are we going to get Chop City? Easy break? Is it all going to be roulette coming into Monday? We will find out. So, Chatadonia, God bless you all, baby. Shout out to the veterans. I hope you're ready to start your day. So, you guys know the vibe, man. You know it. We got to move on. I have a surprise for you. It's not a good one. Yeah. So, I got one. I got a good surprise. You'll see. Get ready for it. But let me get you that Gen Pop link. Oh, no, the house was terrible, dude. The long term. No, literally. I'm like, I don't want to sell my stocks for this. Oh, it was terrible, bro. It was terrible. It was terrible. I don't think Powell is live. I have Zelensky quotes. But either way, I will see you guys in Gen Pop. Be safe, baby. Be safe. All right, have a good Friday. But God bless America. Yeah, there's a Trump True Social. Has anyone noticed? I said I hate Taylor Swift. No. I feel, though. I said it first. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.